banana corporate death squad. If you try to unionize, we'll send you to your god. Bulletproof company, paramilitary. You might think it's scary, but bananas ain't free. Chiquita Death Squad, we're gonna get ya. Chiquita Death Squad, coming for ya. Just one court case will never stop us all. Just can't beat the pay from the capital cabal. We're the fascist party, paramilitary. Might think it's overly freaky, but food don't come cheap. Chiquita Death Squad, we're gonna get ya. Chiquita Death Squad, coming for ya. Chiquita Death Squad, we're gonna get ya. Chiquita Death Squad, coming for ya.
How do you think we get those bananas from the south to your shelf every time of year? Kill the leftists soon as they get elected. They try to do some bitch-ass land reform like a bunch of queers. You need fiber, so we'll leave no survivors. If that's what it takes to get bananas all the way to Europe and America, Australia, China, the global north of empire, a blood-sucking vampire back.
Chiquita Death Squad, we're gonna get ya. Chiquita Death Squad, coming for ya. Chiquita Death Squad, we're gonna get ya. Chiquita Death Squad, coming for ya. Somebody once told me the world is gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest tool in the shed. She was looking kinda dumb with her finger and her thumb in the shape of an L on her forehead. Well, the years start coming and they don't stop coming. Fed to the rules and I hit the ground running. Did it make sense not to live for fun? Your brain gets smart but your head gets dumb. So much to do, so much to say. So what's wrong with taking the back streets? You never know if you don't go. You never shine if you don't glow. Hey now, you're an all-star. Get your game on, go play. Hey now, you're a rock star. Get the show on, get paid. And all that glitters is gold. Only shooting stars break the mold.
Go for the most. Go for the most. Go for the most.
time I look around, every time I look around, ooh baby, it's making me crazy. Every time I look around, every time I look around, no time to search the world around, 'cause you know where I'll be found when I come around. When I come around, it's good. When I come around, it's good. When I come around, it's I smell sex and candy here. Who's that lounging in my chair? Who's that casting devious stares in my direction? Mama, this surely is a dream. Yeah. Oh, mama, this surely is a dream. Dig it. Yeah, mama, this surely is closing time. One last call for alcohol, so finish your whiskey or beer. Closing time. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. I saw the sign. Open up my eyes, I saw the sign. Life is demanding without understanding. I saw the sign. Then it opened up my eyes, I saw the sign. No one's gonna lift you up to get into the light where you belong. But where do you belong? Today was gonna be the day that they're gonna throw it back to you. By now, you should have somehow realized what you gotta do. I don't believe that anybody feels the way I do about you now. We can live beside the ocean, leave the fire behind, swim out past the breaker, watch the world die. We can live beside the ocean, leave the fire behind, swim out past the breaker, watch the world die. If you want to call me baby, just go ahead now. And if you'd like to tell me maybe, just go ahead now. And if you wanna buy me flowers, just go ahead now. And if you'd like to talk for hours, just go ahead now. Hey, no, 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 no. Bop, doo bop, bop, doo, bop, doo bop, bop, doo, yeah, yeah, bop, doo ba da ba doo bop, doo ba da ba doo bop, doo ba da ba doo, yeah, yeah, bop, doo ba da ba doo bop, doo ba da ba doo bop, doo ba da ba doo, yeah, yeah. Dream of Californication, dream of Californication, dream of Californication, dream of Californication.
workers, from your slumber. Arise, ye prisoners of want. That's right. For reason in revolt now thunder. Chains of hatred, greed, and fear. Ha ha! Away with all your superstitions. Serve our masses. Arise, arise. We'll change henceforth the old tradition and spurn the dust to win the prize. So comrades, come on and rally. Then the last fight, let us face. The International unites the whole darn human race. So comrades, come on, let's go rally. And the last fight, let us face. The International unites the whole darn human race. No more deluded by reaction. On tyrants only will make war. The soldiers too will take strike action. They'll break ranks and fight no more. And if those cannibals keep trying to sacrifice us to their pride, each at the forge must do their duty, and we'll strike while the iron is hot. So comrades, come on, let's go rally. And the last fight, let us face. The International unites the whole beautiful human race. So comrades, come on, let's go rally. Ha! And the last fight, let us face. The International unites the whole darn human race.
I cried when they shot MLK. Tears ran down my spine. I cried when they shot Mr. Kennedy, as though I'd lost a father of mine. But Malcolm X got what was coming. He got what he asked for this time. So love me, love me, love me. I'm a liberal. I go to civil rights rallies. I put down the old Tea Party.
All right. Okay. Here we go. What is happening? Where am I? There I am. There am I. Take some shit out of the frame here. How we doing? How we doing, everyone? And I do mean one. Yeah, you know. Things are going all right. Sorry for the late start today. Oh, hey. Who's this? MD Roni. MD Roni. Mid Roni. Thank you. Thank you so much. And Abbas Lawan. Wow. Thank you so much. We got Facebook. We got people on Facebook, man. That's wild. That's that's something. You know, who's watching Facebook Live these days? I appreciate it. You know, I put it up there in hopes, but I look like a tiny baby. All right, here we go. So, yeah, sorry for the late start today. Just had some family shit going on. But it's all good. We're excited, folks. We're excited, you know. I know it's look, building an audience takes time. So, you know, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 sometimes here on Twitch, and that's okay. It takes time. We're looking at the YouTube channel right now at Radicalize Me. We've got 1.04 subscribers. I believe it is at exactly 1040 right now. 1040. 90 videos. Yeah. And we got the most recent video. So we got two recent videos actually. This one 51 views. This one 1.7 thousand. So we love it. We love to see it. You know, it's inconsistent because that's just how it goes at this stage in the game. I'm not mad. I ain't mad. I fucking love this. We got it. Now, here's the thing. Don't have quite a built-in audience yet, right? You know, 1040 subscribers, that's awesome. But not every sub is going to watch every video. So sometimes you end up with what we have here, which is failure to communicate. See, okay, so we have a good number of views on this, but a lot of it's haters finding us, all right? Bro, you're coping so goddamn hard. There's so much salt in this video. My blood pressure's gonna... Good, great. There's a lot of that. Like, you're so mad. I'm like, I'm not, like, I'm not mad. Why am I mad that Anna Kasparian's leaving the left? But that's the thing. Like, a lot of them don't watch the video, and it's very obvious because they'll say things that are generic. They'll say things that are like, now I know you're going to say, like I'll say in the video, I know you're, I know you're going to say this, or like, everyone who leaves the left says this. And then they say those things in the comments. And I was just like, yeah, bro. Like, great. You got it. And then people who do watch the videos, like, all they can do is, you're coping so damn hard. You're coping. Like, what do you mean I'm coping? Isn't coping when you're like not admitting that something has gone wrong? Like, wouldn't that be like, no, Anna's not leaving the left. She's just like whatever. No. I'm confronting reality. I'm a materialist. So yeah, whatever. Who cares? We're getting views. We're getting comments. We got not the best like ratio, but again, this is what happens. And I think engagement is what counts. So there you go. Whatever. Now, we're not going to obsess about that, and we're not going to look at my email. We're going to look elsewhere. Should actually keep YouTube open. Probably going to use it. All right. Close my email there. I got to change the title, don't I? Hey, new CIA drone pilot. What's up? Yeah. So, God damn it. Still an old guy trying to stream. Can't find the thingies. Yeah, I don't know. It's not always easy being a socialist on the internet. We're we're not the most welcome all the time, you know? How do I change the goddamn title? I don't know. I don't know how to change the fucking title once I've started. All right. Well, I guess it is what it is. Anyway, yeah. So we'll see. We'll take a look at some shit today. Oh my god, this has been great. The Ethan Klein, Bad Empanada feud, like that. Yeah, Ethan Klein is kind of losing it. I mean, he's just. I feel like it's another sort of like leaving the left thing, right? Like, because he's I don't know. He was always kind of very amenable uh, to what Hassan was talking about, right? When it came to Israel Palestine, when it came to other left politics stuff, um, like he was fairly amenable to it. You know, he wasn't like fully where Hassan is, but uh, pretty open minded to it. I think, from what I saw. Um, but he's really like going off. He's like, you know, Hassan is the terrorist supporter. Bad Empanada is a terrorist supporter. Like, basically, calling people terrorist supporters is really the big thing. Yeah, calling like the Houthi kid not the Houthi. That's the whole problem. The Yemeni kid, who is not a Houthi. Not that it's even really like, you know, not that it isn't understandable why people are Houthis. Like, it's a fucking rebel group, dude. Like, what do you want people to do when they're under occupation and siege and genocide? So I don't know. Let's start with this, just because I'm feeling it at the moment. This has been an ongoing thing between these two, so you know, if you haven't seen all of it, just know that Ethan Klein's going off, and Bad Empanada has been, you know, debunking him and kind of responding to these criticisms. But
So yeah, Ethan Klein, in his pathetic inability to respond to any of the people who criticize him, went and had a nice little chat with his partner manager, sent them like all of my videos on him, and only one of them stuck. So they deleted the first Alexa video. If you don't know, every YouTuber past a certain point, usually like around 1 million subscribers, gets a partner manager, which is like a direct line that you have to YouTube, so you don't have to deal with the ChatGPT support that everyone else gets. Like everyone else on YouTube, if you want support, what you get is a bot. You never get to talk to a person. It's not allowed. It's just a bot that repeats form letters at you. Whereas bigger YouTubers get a partner manager, where, as it says here, personalized assistance. And obviously a YouTuber like Ethan, who has multiple big channels, who has been on the platform for like 10 years, he 100% has a partner manager. Ethan absolutely does have one. A channel like his, as big as it does, has a partner manager. And I know for a fact that it got through, like it was a direct intervention from YouTube. It was not regular reporting. Because YouTube sent me an email directly from YouTube.
there's got to be like a abusing the reporting system, right? Like, this is crazy. Like, how many times did he report Bad Empanada and only one of them was deemed legitimate? Like, you can't just do that forever, right? Come on.
YouTube partner support, which they do not do unless something was done manually. If it's not manually, it's not sent from them. It's not sent, by a named person. It's just sent with like a form. The idea that Ethan Klein, 3 million subscribers on multiple channels, does not have a partner manager is an absurdity. Obviously, he does. You guys should not believe people when they lie. Ethan is a habitual liar. Obviously, he's lying. So what happens normally when YouTube removes one of your videos or demonetizes a video or age restricts a video, you get a from no reply at youtube.com, which just says, YouTube demonetize your video, YouTube remove your video, something like that. What happened to me was not that. What happened to me is I got an email directly from YouTube partner support, which, as I said, does not happen in normal circumstances unless you contact them directly. And the guy's like, hello, my name is Michael, and I'm reaching out to you on behalf of YouTube's community outreach team with important information about your channel. That is what happens when there's a direct intervention at the request of someone, either at YouTube or someone who has enough clout with YouTube to get in direct contact with them and request something be removed. So it is very, very obvious that this was a result of Ethan directly contacting YouTube.
Mass reporting is, something being weaponized against the left right now. Yeah, it's wild because it works. Like, if enough people do it, it generally works. They're like, well, we got to respond. They're like, yeah, okay. That's where we get stuff like the ban on using Zionist as a slur on Twitch. But, you can use it in the political sense. But what's the political sense? Because that's how people use it. They use it in the political sense. But if Twitch is responding to reports against Hassan for using it, we're not talking about using it as a slur. So what are we doing? What are you actually banning? I think you're banning using it.
To him, and he sent all of them to his partner manager, and his partner manager only agreed on one of them. So it was like an attempt to get me deplatformed, but it didn't work because not even his own contacts at YouTube agree with his bullshit. At this point, you have to understand, Ethan has so much reportable content on his YouTube. Ethan's YouTube has it's the most reportable YouTube in the world, especially his older channels like H3 Productions. So if he wants to throw stones, I would suggest he doesn't do it in a glass house, because there's so many disgusting jokes in his videos that do not fly on YouTube these days. I wouldn't need the direct intervention of a partner manager. I just need people making valid reports. Basically all of Ethan's
Yeah, and it's crazy that Ethan is I guess Ethan is doing the he's going through his partner manager, and that's why it's not a abuse of the report feature thing. But even so, I feel like that's gotta at some point count against you. If you're look at every single video that mentions me, and they're like, okay, I mean, this one kind of did you see his thank you Ethan Klein video? That shit was hilarious. I don't know. I think I saw Mike from PA go over it, maybe. So I did see some of it. Yeah, maybe I'll pull that up next.
content is targeted harassment. 90% of it involves him making jokes about rape or pedophilia. Funny jokes, yeah. So if Ethan wants to start attempting to deplatform people, honestly, I don't know.
Yeah, it's 2014 shit. Yeah, that's as much as people love to be well, the Me Too movement went too far and people are too woke and PC and shit. It's yeah, I mean, sure, in some cases, but also, I think it's a good thing that over time we could look back and say, you know what? Maybe rape is not like the best thing to go around and fucking making flippant jokes about all the time. An AI voice saying this is the foreign influencer network behind the Bad Empanada channel. We thank Ethan Klein for helping us be famous and for discrediting Zivo. Oh, yeah. I think I did see some of that. Yeah, we'll get to that.
I don't understand how no one has tried to get him back but with actual valid reports yet. But again, YouTube has like a 2-tier sort of support system where until you reach a specific threshold, like usually around 1 million, but it can be before that, you get like 1 million subscribers. You get ChatGPT support, and you will never ever speak to a human no matter what happens. You know, if you have a problem, deal with it. It's not going away. Then there is people like Ethan Klein who have a partner support manager specifically for them who they have a direct line to. Someone who's who only deals with like say 10, 20 creators individually on an individual one-to-one basis. If they have an issue, they get it sorted out immediately by that person. It's basically like, Ethan has been coddled and privileged his entire life. It only makes sense that in the YouTube sphere, that is also the case. He is, after all, the living refutation of meritocracy. If there is like one strain with all these Zionists that is a constant, it is being deathly afraid of speaking to anyone who is capable of just laughing at and dismantling the absurdity of their arguments. That's why Ethan...
I'm watching this and I'm trying not to think too much about myself, but I'm like, when you're Bad Empanada, you have like a built-in audience here, and he's got a lot of support in these comments, and I'm sure he gets a lot of the mudslinging bullshit comments that I get too. But where I am now with audience numbers, a lot of times if I get a lot of views, I'm gonna get them from haters, from people who are like, searching. I don't know if they do this, but they'll search like Anna Kasparian, or they'll get mad at me on Twitter and look at my links or whatever. And then they'll watch and be like, you're so salty. Oh, you're coping and seething. Like, okay. Yeah. Cause the thing is, I'm watching this and I'm like, I don't think I did anything that like Bad Empanada's not doing here. And he's a good creator. Like, and I think, I could definitely see haters watching this and being like, you're coping and seething. So I don't know. It's just the way it is. I'm telling myself this because I'm human too. I get fucking, worked up about, bad reviews and bad attention, but fuck them.
If it never does it. For the record, I think the subreddits that are dedicated to just like talking about one person in like negatively are really pathetic and sad. However, Ethan Klein was threatening to sue the people who run like the anti-Ethan Klein subreddit, which I think is very funny, given that Ethan Klein like basically built a career of sympathy for like a fulsome copyright claim against him, and now he is like just throwing his money around and threatening people with obviously absurd litigation. Like, what would you possibly litigate a subreddit for? Especially under American law, what could you possibly take them to court for? Like, the entire point of it is just, we have more money than you, we can make your life hell, we know we'll lose, but we'll do this anyway. Like, Ethan didn't just threaten to sue the subreddit, he threatened to sue Reddit for hosting the subreddit. I am not sure how the fuck that would work, but honestly, try it. Ethan Klein versus Reddit would be a legendarily hilarious
fucking position either, like she kind of tried to suggest. Okay, where is this? Because I think it's probably on his other channel, main channel. There we go. Real Karen needs the manager vibes from Ethan. Absolutely. Okay, let's see. Bad what is it? Thank you, Ethan Klein.
Greetings, I am the true leader of the YouTube channel that viewers know as Bad Empanada. We at the Bad Empanada Foreign Influence Operation would like to thank Ethan Klein for his help in bringing our operation to prominence. We have long been working to destroy American values, and thanks to his recent actions, our efforts are finally bearing real fruit. As he loses viewers and subscribers, we gain them at an exponential rate, higher than ever before. Each viewer he loses is one less viewer.
Damn, maybe I have to feud with Ethan Klein. That's fucking wild.
Viewer of American propaganda. Each viewer we gain is one more exposed to propaganda. A sleeper agent ready to act on our signal on a
Am I muted? Can you hear me now? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why I would have been muted. What the fuck happened? How about that? Whoa. 1, 2, 3. Anything? What the fuck? I turned my headphone volume down a minute ago. That shouldn't have muted me. I don't know. The whole darn human race. Oh, rise, you workers, from your slumber. Arise, ye prisoners of want. All right. I don't know. I don't know. How about now? Help me out. Oh, there is. Okay. Or maybe I was trying to talk over the video or something. Okay. Let's try that again.
Moment's notice. The work that Ethan Klein has done recently to help bring down America, and Israel has been exemplary.
What I was saying is maybe I have to feud with Ethan Klein, because goddamn, if I'm gonna sap viewers from him like that.
And we thank him greatly. So much so that we even wrote a song for him. Those of us at sincerely hope you enjoy this tune while you wait to hear us utter the code word that will spur you into taking action for our purposes against your will.
Thank you,
Ethan Klein.
you are my best friend. You
Destroy the legitimacy of any cause you tie yourself to.
are the legend. Thank you,
Ethan Klein.
you are my best friend. You are
The living refutation of meritocracy.
you are the legend.
That's so funny. Yeah, I know that song from fucking Hassan's stream. Thank you, USA. That's how you grow. You have to do stuff that will get in other people's algorithms by criticizing, endorsing other streams. Yeah. Yeah, I could do positive stuff too, for sure. Because I'm a sensitive boy. I don't want to have people yelling at me all the time. But yeah. I remember I did this video about Hank Green from Vlog Brothers or whatever, and there was a comment, like I could probably find it, but there was a comment about welcome to Rap. Someone was like, this might have been on Reddit actually, but they were like, "Oh, I think this streamer was just trying to get on the trend of criticizing other creators or whatever, like criticizing bigger creators or something." I was like, "Is that a trend or is that just like a one type of video?" Like, it's so stupid. It's like, yeah, man, you know, sometimes the plan for a video criticism is a fad. Marx would be so mad, but yeah, it's like, yeah, sometimes the video process goes like, okay, I should make this type of video, and then you figure out, you know, how to do your version of it. But like a lot of the time, it's like I saw a fucking tweet by Hank Green, and I was like, this to me suggests that Hank Green doesn't understand politics, so I'm gonna fucking talk about it. You know, I got good comments on this shit. Great vid. I hope it makes its way to Hank. I think he would agree with most everything you said. Maybe. This video was a lot more thoughtful than I expected from the incendiary title. Yeah, that's the hope, right? Because you got to bring people in somehow. Gotta be a little clickbaity. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it's too navel gazing to react to my own video from a few months ago, but oh my god. Oh, you know, these things are getting old. Star Wars: The Empire Strikes Back, 1950s Super Panavision 770. What the fuck? Yeah, they just make these things. It's like, what if it was made in a different decade? Like, okay, great, awesome. I was trying to find this clip. See, history. Oh no, you're gonna see my history. Let me see. Darth Vader. There's this fucking part from wait, search history. There we go. There's this fucking part in Empire Strikes Back where Vader turns around and this dude he like calls to is right there, and they just come like so close, face to face. It is so funny. I have always found this so much funnier than yeah, this is it. Than I think it's supposed to be.
Admiral? Yes, Captain.
This movie's so fucking good.
I think we've got something, sir. The report is only a fragment from a probe droid in the hot system, but it's the best lead we've had.
We have thousands of probe droids searching the galaxy. I want proof, not leads.
The visuals indicate life mediums.
It could mean anything. If we followed up every lead,
But,
we
sir,
could...
the hot system is supposed to be devoid of human forms.
You found something.
Yes, my lord.
That's it. The rebels are there.
My lord, there are so many uncharted settlements. It could be smart.
This is so funny too, which I think is missed by a lot of analyses of Star Wars, which is that like Darth Vader is definitely in charge of a lot of shit, but also like the generals and admirals and shit like they clearly don't take him seriously. They're just fucking terrified of him. Like you see the fucking look on this guy's face. Because it's the same thing he was telling the other guy.
Rebels are there.
My lord, there are so many
my lord. Like, it's so funny. It's like the in the first movie, in the original, that guy, there's that guy in the when they're in that big meeting room early on, and this dude goes, he just like lays into Darth Vader before Darth Vader force chokes him. He's like, your pathetic devotion to that ancient religion is like hasn't given you the clairvoyance to find the stolen plans. Like, yeah, because they're just like, he's this weird fucking lord dude who is the emperor's lackey. Yeah, it's like, I don't even know, you know, if you could like point to his like actual rank. He's just around because he was the emperor's fucking Sith Padawan.
Uncharted settlements. It could be smugglers, it could be...
That is the system, and I'm sure Skywalker is with them. Set your course for the Hoth system. General Veers, prepare your men. Set your course for the Hoth system. General Veers, prepare...
General Veers, like, yeah, I'm right here. What the fuck is that? General Veers. Oh my God. Why are you standing so close? I wonder if it's like, because I know this was a thing with older TV cameras, that people had to stand like unnaturally close together to get everyone in the shots. I would think that was different with widescreen film, but I mean, I guess it could have still been a thing with older film cameras. Yeah, it's just so fucking funny. It's right there.
Prepare your men. For the Hoth system. General Veers, prepare...
Oh, it's so weird. I don't know. If he was just like a foot away, like I don't know, 6 inches away, like that, it would just make such a difference. Hey, we got 4 people in here right now. Thanks for being here, y'all. Appreciate the views. Yeah. Oh my God. Well. Anyway, that's Star Wars. It's a fun little movie. So, oh my God. Destiny and Loner Boxes, disgusting secrets exposed. I heard about this. Let's do this. This is kind of
Hey everyone. So
I don't know who, like how much this shit makes its way into the wider world, but like Ben Empanada is a leftist commentator, and then Destiny and Lonerbox are commentators who were like, you know, ostensibly left or liberal, but have certainly Destiny has moved to the right on a lot of shit. He's a really gross fucking guy. Lonerbox has been following his lead, at least on Israel and Palestine, being very pro-genocide. But something came out about them and Nick Fuentes. So let's see.
you might have heard recently that the YouTubers Destiny and Lonerbox have been on a tear against the evil terrorist Hassan Piker. They've been calling him a terrorist because, like 8 months ago, he invited a 19-year-old Yemeni man to a single video call on his stream. It's since been clarified that this man has no link to the Houthi organization, nor any other sort of group that could even remotely be called terrorist. And that's not even getting into looking at what the Houthis actually do to see how exactly they are terrorists or not. So you would think that those guys have like a blanket, you know...
Yeah, they're really not. The Destiny leaks are pretty awful. Yeah. I'm not gonna watch those, but yeah. But yeah, this thing with the Yemeni kid, it's like, it's so nuts, dude. It's like people have no curiosity about why people like do the things they do if it's outside of America. And it's just this thing where like the best distillation of it I can, and this is, you know, it's dumbed down, but whatever. Like it's oversimplified, but the way people turn off their brains when they hear the word terrorist is so bad. Like, you should not be like that. You should want to know and understand, like, okay, this terrorist group, which one is this? Where are they from? Why did they get formed? Like, what are they doing? You should have a little more curiosity than that. That's all I'm saying.
Anti-terrorism, anti-bad thing stance, they would never platform bad people or anything like that, right? They would surely never associate with anyone terrible on levels far worse than even their own worst fantasies about that Yemeni kid, right? Anyway, so here's a picture of Lonabox and Destiny hanging out with Alon Levy, the first official spokesman of the Israeli genocide in Gaza. He's been called the Israeli Goebbels, and he relishes in that label. He likes it. You can clearly see as well, Lonabox in this picture here is wearing a different shirt. That's because this one's from a different day. They hung out with the Israeli Goebbels, the guy who spouts bullshit to legitimize.
Yeah, he's a propagandist for Israel. Yeah, and they're just hanging out with this dude. But, you know, even if you ignore that, I mean, I think people are pretty in agreement that Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. So, you know, whatever they've done with Nick Fuentes, I don't see how that's okay either.
The massacre of children, they just hung out with him, had a great time with him for 2 whole days, 2 entire days, smiling together, having a good old time. And then, well, guess what else happened? You know, take a guess. Could you guess what happened? So have you ever heard of American neo-Nazi Nick Fuentes? Anyway, so as reported in the Tribune, alleged sex tape of streamer Destiny and Nick Fuentes surfaces online. Explicit video allegedly shows Destiny and Nick Fuentes in an intimate act, fueling rumors of their relationship. So, you know, Destiny, who would never ever platform a terrorist, who would never do anything quite as bad as that, he not only platformed a terrorist, a neo-Nazi terrorist, he not only hung out with him for weeks at a time, having a good old time with him like he was his best friend, but he also apparently swallowed him whole. I wonder if...
Jesus. I was trying to think of some pun or something too, and he just went for it. Yeah. You know, oh yeah, he wasn't friends with Nick Fuentes. He was just trying to get to the bottom of his operations. He apparently slept with Lauren Southern as well, another Nazi creator, which, never mind, I'm not going to say anything, but he slept with Lauren Southern. This is, I think Destiny's ex-wife revealed this recently, which she considered cheating, even though I guess they had an open relationship, but you know, you can still cheat in an open relationship if you're dishonest and you know, sneaky about stuff, which shouldn't have to be. It's an open relationship. Just be open. But I guess maybe his wife wouldn't have been super happy about him fucking a Nazi, 2 Nazis, one you know, one guy, one girl, and if he's bi, that's great, that's fine, but Jesus Christ, dude.
His pathetic little orbiter, Lonabox, got in on the action as well. Anyway, that's all that I wanted to say. See ya!
That's great. I like Bad Empanada. I don't think there's anything like... He's just a civic nationalist. That's so funny. What the fuck does that mean? Like, these things they come up with, like classical liberal and yeah, civic nationalist. I can't think of any others at this time, but like, yeah, you know, makes you almost appreciate people like Matt Walsh for just saying that they're Christian fascists or whatever. Oh my god. Yeah, I like Bad Empanada. I don't know if there's like stuff about him that I shouldn't, that's bad or something. I remember like people were real worked up about him, but I don't know. I think he's just spicy on Twitter. That's what I've heard. Oh my god. I kind of want to watch this Ta-Nehisi. Is it Ta-Nehisi or Ta-Nehisi? Because it's spelled Ta-Nehisi. But then I say Ta-Nehisi and people are like, no, it's Ta-Nehisi. I'm like, okay, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to put up in that too.
This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace.
I saw this. Conservatives won't stop drinking raw milk even if it has bird flu. I gotta see this.
So for quite a while, I've been making videos about drinking raw milk and just like various different trends I've been seeing on things like TikTok and seeing just like weird food influencers make videos on.
This is why you should be drinking raw milk. Raw milk has been associated with beneficial changes in the gut microbiome, including increased levels of lactobacillus. And raw milk also contains the highest levels of MSM, a compound studied and found to improve joint health.
The reason that we love buying dairy from the Amish.
MSM. Okay. That monosodium. I don't know what that would be. Anyway. Yeah, that's so funny. Like, pay attention to this, to the way these like fake health trends and health facts get reported. Because
this is why you should be drinking raw milk.
Okay, this is why you should be drinking raw milk. Got it.
Raw milk has been associated with beneficial changes in the gut microbiome, including increased levels of lactobacillus.
Okay, so improvements in, what did he say? Beneficial changes in the gut microbiome. Okay. I mean, that sounds good. Right? I don't know shit about gut microbiome, but it sounds good.
Microbiome, including increased levels of lactobacillus.
Oh, wow. Increased levels of lactobacillus. I mean, that's got to be good. I mean, I think that's something in yogurt. It's like one of the active cultures or whatever. I assume it's good. But hey, do I need more? Or is it just, it's just generally a positive thing to have in your gut microbiome? And this guy's just saying that because I've seen it on a yogurt container. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, oh wow, it'll give me more lactobacillus. Like, okay, am I short on lactobacillus? Like, would this guy know if I was? Should I maybe ask a doctor? Jesus.
And raw milk also contains the highest levels of MSM, a compound studied.
Okay, I'm gonna look up MSM. MSM compound. Methyl sulfonylmethane. Methyl sulfonylmethane. Methane. Sulfonylmethane. Whatever. Okay. I've heard these words, right? Methyl sulfonyl. Sulfites, sulfur, I've heard those, and methane. All right. It's an organosulfur compound that is found naturally in fruit, vegetables, and grains. Okay. So should I just eat fruit, vegetables, and grains? That seems like a better way than raw milk, maybe. has anti-inflammatory and antioxidant properties and is most commonly used as a dietary supplement to promote joint health and to alleviate pain in people with osteoarthritis. I was diagnosed with like pre-osteoporosis or osteoarthritis or osteoporosis, but I do have some minor arthritis too. Maybe I should have some MSM. It's in animals, humans, and many plants. People use it most often to try to treat arthritis. Okay. It can be produced in a lab where it's sometimes combined with other supplements. Love it's just like crack rocks. Like, what the fuck? They keep saying try to treat. Like, that seems bad. Okay, there's a range of other reasons people take MSM. The evidence to support taking MSM for these is lacking. What about the rest? However, there's evidence that MSM in combination with other supplements may help a bit with the pain and swelling of knee osteoarthritis. Also, early animal research shows some promise for decreasing joint degeneration. Okay. The more I read, I'm like, I should have some MSM. Which, I eat fucking grains and vegetables and fruits. So, probably, again, I probably have enough. Okay, and milk. There you go. And here's the thing, too. They don't even tell you, like, they don't even confirm that, like, oh, yeah, the pasteurization process actually removes the MSM from milk, right? They're just like, raw milk has it. I'm like, okay. What about other milk? Yeah. All right. Well, let's not get too bogged down.
And found to improve joint health.
The reason that we love buying dairy from the Amish is that they don't pasteurize their dairy.
Raw milk was demonized. Why? Because these big dairies have sway with the government and the media. Obviously, they will say and do anything that will make them more money. Obviously, as a result of this, raw milk being sold from small, most of the time family-owned farms, were now deemed dangerous and unacceptable.
The government doesn't know what strands of...
I mean, you have to prove these things. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're naming like motives, and motives that are, not even that hard to believe, and that's why people fucking fall for this shit. But yeah, you still have to prove that exact thing is happening with raw milk, and that's why we can't get raw milk. Because like, honestly, sometimes regulations are just good. And what's going to happen likely under the Trump administration is that we're going to lose a lot of these regulations. And maybe you will be able to get raw milk more easily. And people are just going to talk about it as a win, right? There's going to be no studies. There's going to be no whatever. And when there are, people will doubt the sources or whatever, because people are going to be getting sick from raw milk. And any study that shows that is going to be bad. Yeah, it's like sometimes the regulation is just good. Yeah, you don't fucking need dairy milk anyway, man. Like, goddamn.
Probiotics are found in here. Like, the more and more I learn, the more and more I'm realizing the government is a sham.
And the raw milk thing is weird because I made my first...
You're just realizing that? Because of the milk?
First video on this must be like 5 or 6 months ago. And when I first made my video on it, I felt like I was the only person talking about it. I probably wasn't. But it was weird to make that video and then slowly just see more and more conservatives promote drinking raw milk over the year. And obviously people like RFK, absolute lunatics, say they drink raw milk. And as it's gone...
And that guy seems really healthy. I drink raw milk.
On, we've also seen more threats to public health from raw milk, and recently bird flu has been found in raw milk. And I think, I'm not sure what it was earlier this year, but there was another batch of raw milk that had like disease in it as well. Because, of course, the reason raw milk is pasteurized is so you get all these things out of it and you don't drink viruses that can be transmitted from animals. And actually, like animal agriculture, as we've seen through things like...
Oh, fuck. We're gonna have another pandemic, aren't we? Man. God damn.
COVID are some of the biggest sources of pandemics and stuff, right? HIV, AIDS, that comes from bushmeat, probably came from people eating chimps, and one of their viruses that doesn't affect them mutated and then turned into HIV, AIDS. Obviously, you have COVID, you have various different coronaviruses, you have loads of different like bird flus, just loads of stuff to do with animals. If we stopped eating meat and if we stopped drinking milk, lots of these pandemics wouldn't exist. And also we have things like antimicrobial resistance because, yes, we pump all these animals full of loads of drugs so they don't get as ill when we're farming them for either meat or milk. And it's just a recipe for disaster. And now we've got someone like RFK Jr. And there was another guy today, some anti-vax doctor. They're going to be in charge of like medical health in America. So expect this to probably be the start of the next pandemic. And if we see that under the Trump administration, because of both people denying science, regulators stripping back laws against raw milk, which has been happening, and people like RFK and Trump being in power, like don't be surprised. So
yeah, and I highly doubt we'll get anything like we got last time. I mean, we'll see, because it was Trump in charge last time, but he's not going to want to deal with and like fight back against a backlash to lockdowns and free money from the government, which was just your tax money returned to you. But now listen to me. Yeah, I don't see it working out. I'm trying to become a remote only worker. Because goddamn, this shit is a nightmare. I never stopped masking. Just never did. I mean, well, actually, that's not true. I did briefly when everyone was getting vaccinated at first, and I think it was fine at first. I mostly was like, I would go to like a friend's house unmasked. I would go see my family unmasked. But still masked in like, supermarket, just, big indoor spaces, and small indoor spaces, frankly. But, yeah, but then it just, I don't think everyone was getting every booster. I don't know if everyone could get every booster because they were just, giving it to people like me who are, who have chronic health issues and immune issues. So then it was like, okay, well, we would see my family, and then, my wife and I would be the ones who get sick. And it's like, okay, well, we can't fucking... So we'll see people masked sometimes. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's fucking lame. It just... And I get it. I get why people are not, like, crazy about it anymore, because they got the information they got from the government, which under Biden was like, yeah, it's fine. I don't know. Yeah, no, it's not 10 days, it's 7. Actually, it's 5. Actually, it's 1. Fuck it. Do whatever you want. So, it's going to be great. But, if I don't have to go physically to a job, then that's a lot better. takes away a lot of the regular risk I'm exposed to. So.
I want to just read this quickly, and then I want to read a comment I saw under this article when it was written by someone else, because I think it sums up Americans so much. And obviously you guys know I believe in like systems influencing people rather than people having free will and making choices. There is still some stuff about America which I can't wrap my head around, so I just want to read you this article from CNN. Bird flu virus has been found in a batch of raw milk in California, and consumers should not drink it, the State Department of Public Health warned on Sunday. The agency said that no illnesses have been associated with the lot of raw milk and that pasteurized milk remains safe to drink. It said out of an abundance of caution and due to the ongoing spread of bird flu in dairy cows, poultry and human cases, consumers should not consume any of the affected raw milk.
By the way, this is why I'm fucking I'm almost vegan. I usually don't have dairy products because I'm lactose tolerant anyway. But there's a lot of problems associated with that. There's a lot of problems associated with meat. I don't love the way that animals are treated. I kind of don't. I kind of just don't want to eat meat in general. But like, especially factory farmed meat and shit. It's just like it's so bad and it's so gross and it's just ugh. So I'm thankful that I've already made this choice and I've already like gotten used to it. So yeah, I'll eat eggs sometimes. Probably not. There's probably, issues with that too, but I don't even eat a ton of them. That's just a thing that's like, okay, well, I don't have any like, allergies or anything to it, but so it was like, okay, well, eggs are like in a lot of things, so I'm not going to go fucking insane and not have anything with eggs on the label because I'm already celiac and IBS and all this shit. So there you have it.
Farm LLC of Fresno, California, recalled 1.5 gallon sizes of raw milk with a best by date of November 27th. On Thursday, the Santa Clara County Public Health Laboratory was testing raw milk products from retail stores when one of the samples tested positive for H5 bird flu. The county contacted stores selling this raw milk and recommended they pull it while the sample was tested further. Then the test was independently verified. Just finally, the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention has recorded 55 human cases of bird flu in 2024, including 29 in California. Most are linked to farm workers who've been in contact with sick animals. And last week, the CDC announced the first US case of bird flu identified on a child in California took place, and an investigation into how the child was exposed underway. So all of this threat of having another bird flu pandemic from maybe things like raw milk is because people are just idiots. Like, there is no reason to drink raw milk. There's no nutritional benefit. Maybe you like the taste better. Is that worth potentially getting bird flu or something else, right? And that's what like drives me crazy. Like when I make these videos, people comment like, well, I grew up on a farm and I always drank raw milk and I was fine. Okay, good. I'm glad you were fine. Because you're still rolling the dice every single time you drink that, because if your cow gets infected with something, you're probably going to get it as well. So is that worth it because you like the taste of milk better? Maybe for some people it is, but also you have to realize it's a public health risk, right? And Americans especially are so brainwashed by individualism, they don't care. Like, they'd rather tasty milk to them than reduce the risk of a pandemic. And this made me laugh because it's so American, right? So the New York Post, which is like the Daily Mail of America, just ran a story as well. Bird flu virus detected in raw milk dairy farm in California, right? So I was scrolling through the comments and I laughed so much. So obviously you get like insane stuff. It's become like some sort of racist thing. Like here's like a Pepe the Frog meme. And people saying, you know, it's not a big deal. I grew up drinking raw milk since I was an infant. I don't know why people are so terrified of raw milk in America. When I worked in a grocery store, romaine lettuce was recalled many times a year for E. coli. Yet people are still eating salad. Again, like American individualism of like, oh, in my personal experience, I was fine. So, and because sometimes like lettuce is bad, yeah, we should just keep drinking raw.
Right. But also it's like, well, no, maybe we should have like better regulations around lettuce if it gets contaminated that often. But I don't think it's as often as raw milk. Raw milk,
because it seems safer in my opinion. But this made me laugh so much when I read it. Like, this is like the most American thing you've ever heard in your life. It's like, this in response to bird flu being found in raw milk only makes me want raw milk more. Once the propaganda media starts a smear campaign, you know you are over the target and fraternizing the globalist NWO agenda. Americans, like, why? Okay, I know this isn't just Americans, because loads of British people have fallen to these conspiracy theories as well.
Yeah, it's just, again, it's like, these should not be the markers you're using. Like, once the propaganda media starts a smear campaign, you know you're over target. Like, do you? Like, no. You might be highly skeptical of our media, and that's fine. I am too. But you can't just be like, well, now that they've attacked the thing I like, now I know I'm right. It's like, well, no, you don't. That's not how you know. You could, look into this, find better information, try to at least. And if you prove them wrong, then you can say, like, okay, what's their fucking motive for reporting the wrong information? But yeah, this is so stupid. You're over targeting, threatening the globalist NWO agenda. How? How, Lucy? In what way specifically are you threatening the globalist NWO agenda?
But like, Americans thinking they're standing up to the man, to the powerful, because they're deciding to drink milk, which is more dangerous to your health. Like, they're deciding, like, not boiling milk, or not even boiling, like, not warming milk, is actually standing up to the globalist agenda. Drinking raw milk is a sign of defiance. And yeah, like, it encapsulates in my mind just this tweet. Just everything wrong with fucking Americans. And if you go on her profile, like, it's not surprising, is it? Leave the kids alone. Free First Amendment. Second Amendment. Stay at home mum. MAGA. And
that's how you know people are freaks. Like, generally, I hope I'm not doing the same thing she was. No, but this is just a commonly said thing with, like, a lot of Trump people, a lot of right-wingers in general. The First Amendment and Second Amendment. The second one's to protect the first. And it's like, yeah. I love being a Constitution head who's all about the first two. And then, I don't know. Don't ask me about the other ones.
Just retweeting all the usual garbage. Jan 6 political prisoners, loads of stuff about Donald Trump and Iran and shit like that. So when humanity is going to die, like, from pandemics and stuff, it's people like this. Oh, there's bird flu in my milk. That makes me want to drink it even more. And you can't stop me. And, like, that's why it's hard someone's being a leftist. Because I'm looking at this woman here, right? I'm looking at this profile of the person who said they want to drink bird flu milk. And you're thinking, you're so stupid. You're so stupid. Like, what went wrong in your life? But that's why being a leftist is hard. Because I'm like, how does someone become like this? And we can laugh and be like, you're an idiot. And it's your own choice. But is it a choice? Like, you're growing up in America, and you're probably growing up in an insane conservative community. Like they say we're from Tennessee, which is, more conservative part of America. And like obviously the propaganda is so insane that someone just gets radicalized into thinking that drinking disease milk is actually a fuck you to the globalists. So yeah, like, for me, I always wrestle with that point of, if I spoke to this woman in real life, she would probably drive me absolutely fucking insane. But like, there are so many people like this now. You have to more like examine and take away like the personal aspect and examine like, why do people act like this? Why are people so drowning in conspiracy theories and everything? And beyond things like religion, it's because of capitalism. And if we're looking at someone like her with a verified Twitter account, all the verified stuff she retweets, people push this information just for profit. And that's what misinformation is often done for. It is done for profit of a few, and also to keep you voting against your own interests. So if someone is so far gone that they're advocating for drinking disease milk, do you think they're ever going to vote against like conservatism? They're so brainwashed at this point. It's just not happening, is it? And especially when everyone around them is the same in this cult, like how do you help people out of it? Like how would I ever reach this person? I don't think you can, but that's why capitalism is such a death cult, is people like making money off the backs of brainwashing people into this ideology, which will like doom humanity. But
yeah, and the other thing about the we need a total shutdown of the USA until we figure out what's going on. I mean, honestly, dude, it's like I find myself becoming more of an authoritarian leftist, and by that I just mean like, yeah, you know what? There are certain like just exercises of executive power that a lot of communist countries do, and I'm like, I get it. You know, it's like, okay, China, like, okay, they're for historical reasons, there's a lot of like social conservatism in the Communist Party there, and I'm not such a big fan of that. But like, when it comes to this shit, like, do you think there's like, I mean, there's a lot of rural places in China, who knows? But like, do you think that China fucks around with these kinds of like misinformation pushes and public health risks, like people selling raw milk and all that? Like, come on. And I know people would be like, oh, what about China? What about the fucking COVID with the bad and the wet markets and all this shit? It's like, yeah, I mean, every place has problems, but when freedom of speech shouldn't be a license to make millions of people say, yeah, exactly. It's like Lenin talks about freedom of speech in like liberal democracies, and he's like, what are we supposed to get out of this? That like, oh yeah, I'm allowed to like talk about communism technically, right? But you're not allowed to do anything about it. And then people are allowed just as much to talk about, you know, being a Nazi, being a far right, being a fascist. And they're allowed to spread misinformation about all this shit. And it's like, yeah, you know, ideally I would love like a society that's a little more open and not repressive. But the thing is, like, capitalism is already repressive, and every state is repressive. It's just, okay, who's going to get repressed? Is it, again, people talking about communism? Or is it people trying to sell raw milk and make millions off of getting people sick? That's the problem. So people see repression from communist countries and they're like, repression, see, bad. And it's like, okay, but bro, there's plenty of repression happening under capitalism. It's just that under communism, it's done to people trying to make millions from people getting sick, people trying to profit off of misinformation, all this shit. So like, no, I don't want to, you know, not be allowed to criticize the ruling party. But again, I'm like, when I hear that, I'm like, okay, but really though, like, are you not allowed to be like, I don't think the party handled X, Y, and Z very well. I would like them to do something else. I'm going to elect a different council person this year because I'm not happy with the way the party's handling this, and this. Are you not allowed to do that? Are you not allowed to say that? Or is it more like you're not allowed to say, we should overthrow the Communist Party and, put a capitalist system back in place? These are the things I'd like to know that my country doesn't like to teach me. Yeah. Oh yeah, but before, there was that person saying like, oh, this is the dairy industry repressing raw milk for profit. And it's like, well, sure. I mean, I'm sure that overall the dairy industry likes to have, a monopoly on the market, frankly, right? They like to have a monopoly over the market. They don't want to have to compete too much with like local producers. And sure, that's not because of raw milk. Like, you're prevented from drinking raw milk because of government regulation again. And, if government has strong regulations and strong penalties for breaking regulations, then Big Dairy doesn't want to, get hit with penalties for breaking the regulations because they want to profit, right? And if you have to pay big fines, if you have to shut down, if you have to do whatever, if you have to recall stuff or whatever, like, well, then you're going to lose profit. But they'd gladly change things if it meant more profit for them, right? But then you have people like this lady and, pushers of raw milk that she's promoting. Like that's the like poisonous capitalism here, not regulations, which are not capitalism.
But they don't care if you can make some.
I mean, obviously they can exist under capitalism. It's just like, it's not capitalism when the it's not a capitalist force on the market when the government says you can't sell tainted milk.
Some extra money. So that is the video, and just expect to see, I don't know, loads of cases of bird flu linked to people drinking raw milk.
Yep. Here we go. It's gonna be fun. Jesus. Bird flu cases on the rise. When was this? 10 hours ago. Great.
Calling from a 914 area code.
I wonder if it's connected to the fucking raw milk shit.
914.
Hi, is this me?
Yeah, it's you.
Hey. I'm from New York, and I want to talk about bird flu.
What was your name?
Philip.
Philip from New York to talk about the bird flu. I mean, this is going to be a terrifying conversation, isn't it, Philip?
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
How terrifying do you want? What, you want the straight juice, or do you want?
Let's just do the straight juice. I mean, I've been.
Oh, don't call it juice.
I've headlined it a couple of times and mentioned it, and there is the bird flu has been found in raw milk commercially sold in California. There was a teenager in Canada who had bird flu, and the sequencing suggested the possibility suggesting the possibility of human-to-human communication.
Yeah.
There's been a couple of cases in California, my understanding too, where people have gotten bird flu but don't have any. There's no reason to believe they've had any communication with farm animals, although maybe that was raw milk or something else. Can you make me more nervous than that?
So I'm a flu researcher. I specialize a little bit in avian influenza.
Oh, so in other words, you're part of the establishment, and we should not listen to you.
Oh, God.
Swamp.
I should have used a better alias.
That's how you know when they start calling in to the Sam Cedar show to silence you, to smear you.
Right.
Yeah. So,
you want to say something like, I have a
lot of-
PhD in comparative economics, and therefore let me espouse my theories on the
that
flu.
gives me the expertise on bird flu. No, but there's a lot. There have been like a lot of bird flu cases in humans in over the past year because of all the circulation in cows, which I think that probably the main thing that I want to focus on is that there is so much really unregulated, very little attention paid to from the government and federal regulatory agencies to all the circulation in cows. It's proven really difficult for. There's basically, there's no tools for the agencies to really, stop it. It's not so much the main problem isn't really people getting infections of bird flu straight from the cows. The biology of flu lets it sort of adjust really, really quickly and sort of adapt really, really quickly. If two different flu viruses get into the same host, so same person, same cells, and basically that makes the upcoming influenza season, like flu season, like normal flu season, actually a really, really dangerous time because there's so much opportunity for a regular influenza virus from humans to basically swap genes with the bird flu version of
what? Huh?
From humans to basically swap genes with the bird flu version of influenza. And what that lets the virus do is become rapidly adapted and at home.
So if I understand what you're saying is the more that the bird flu is just out there in existence, even though it's within a population that doesn't necessarily cross over to humans, the more dangerous it is because that gives it more of an opportunity to meet and date the seasonal flu. They have a baby, essentially. They have a baby, and that baby is like, oh, I actually can hang out with humans too. And I'll bring all of the traits from my mom, who was the bird flu, and my dad, who was the human flu, and then I'm off to the races.
Yeah, that's actually how swine flu came to be. Swine flu had a series of these, what we call reassortments. It's basically that's gene swapping that led to a virus that was well adapted to circulate in humans, but that humans didn't have good antibodies and good immune histories to defend against. Yeah, and basically the same thing could happen with bird flu, and the more opportunities that bird flu has a chance to meet up and hang out with, regular human flu, the more times we basically roll the dice that something like that happens, unfortunately.
Well. Let's hope.
Flu season is gonna. Yeah, we're all a little worried about flu season here.
I'm not sure how the metaphor goes when we're talking about rolling dice, but let's hope that we crap out or not crap out, whichever way.
Get snake eyes, right?
Yeah,
No,
we hope the virus craps out.
We want the virus to crap out. So we're hoping for a 7.
Yeah.
Oh.
Is that right? I don't know, Dice.
I thought the virus was rolling.
But yes, it is a good time to remind people, get a flu shot. Everybody in this office has gotten their flu shot?
Yes.
Matt, why are you being so quiet over there?
Flu shots for sure. Always a good idea.
Get the COVID
it's also
update
not
too.
Total doom and gloom. Yeah.
I'm boosted
there's
for
tons of
COVID.
context with bird flu. Yeah, it's not total doom and gloom if there is a bird flu pandemic, because we do have. It's one of the pandemics that we sort of like think is going to come sooner or later. So there are some like stockpiles of vaccine.
Oh, really? Oh, vaccines. Oh, that's good. At least we don't have somebody who will be in charge of the distribution of vaccines who fundamentally believes that vaccines are a danger and a menace. And yes, so I mean, that's what I was about to say. But the vaccine will be available to those who want it, I guess. And let's hope that it's a really, really good vaccine so that we're not reliant on every other principle of public health that has been developed over the course of, I don't know, several hundred years. Appreciate the call, I guess.
Of course, thanks.
All right.
Left is best.
Yeah.
Everyone's saying I'm anti-vax now because I was a little bit late in replying to that message, but I like the vaccine. I am boosted. I will say, like, was it last year I got COVID, and I had been like waiting till it was closer to like the holiday season to get my booster, and then I got COVID, and I will not do that again because I don't like the idea that you could get COVID and not be recently boosted.
Yes, listen, if you're going, I mean, get your COVID booster now and your flu, because it takes 2 weeks for this thing to get to like its full strength in your body. And so now is the time to do it. Do not mess up. Drapester says, I want to push back on your caller about federal attention to H5N1 in cows. The USDA has implemented a program where we test incoming beef samples from beef establishments for H5N1. So far, we have 1 positive out of hundreds of samples. Also, studies looked at thousands of retail samples without finding H5N1. Okay. I mean, 1 positive out of hundreds of samples. I don't know. That makes me a little bit nervous.
Sounds
well,
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, one recommendation I have, This Week in Virology. It's a podcast I started listening to during the pandemic, but I think they do a pretty good overview of the science at a fairly regular basis. It's more regular than weekly.
Calling from a 647 area code. Drapester says, I helped implement the testing and surveillance program in raw beef. There are some cases where the source of infection is unclear. The caller was correct in saying the longer this goes on, the bigger the chance it starts to transmit to human. However, the fact it's been going on for so long and hasn't happened yet is kind of assuring. We've started vaccinating frontline workers. We are doing what we can in the face of our choked budgets. Yes, I have no doubt that it's underfunded. That I have no doubt of. Hey, folks, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and check out our daily show. We do.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah, so I kind of wanted to get to this. Yeah, let's see some of this.
Report. I'm Amy Goodman. We're continuing this holiday special with Ta-Nehisi Coates, author of the new book, The Message. Democracy Now!'s Juan Gonzalez and I interviewed him on October 8th, one day after hundreds of activists rallied in Union Square in New York for a Jewish-led vigil on the first anniversary of October 7th to mourn Israelis and Palestinians who've been killed and to call for an end to the Israeli massacre in Gaza. After the vigil, I spoke to Ava Borgwart, a spokesperson for the group If Not Now. Right Right now, people are wearing signs that say, no U.S. money for bombs, and talk about the motto of this October 7th vigil.
So the motto is every life a universe, and it's from Pikuach Nefesh, which says that to destroy a life is to destroy an entire world, and to save a life is to save an entire world. And our government is not treating every single life as a universe. They're treating Palestinian lives as less sacred.
How did you get so involved with this issue?
I got involved through the Ferguson uprising, and I was watching Black and Palestinian activists trading tips on Twitter about how to deal with tear gas, and it became clear that Palestinians in the West Bank are facing a military charged with policing, and Black Americans are facing a militarized police force. And that was my entry point, where I said I need to organize my community, which was unable to, which was limited in being able to show up for the civil rights fight of our time, for the Black Lives Matter movement, because they were upset about the messaging for a free Palestine in those protests. And so I've spent the last 10 years of my life working on building the movement of Jewish Americans who are calling for equality, justice, and a thriving future for all, no matter where people live.
That's Eva Bergward of the group If Not Now, one of hundreds of people here in New York City and Union Square for two large rallies to the West Bank and Israel. Talk about this whole journey you took. You were part of the PalFest, and then you also stayed.
Yeah, and I guess, to be honest, my journey began 10 years ago when I published the case for reparations. And there was a section, again, as a writer, as a journalist, you're always trying to make people feel things, make things real. And there was a section where I offered an analog for reparations, for how it could possibly look. And it was from West Germany to the state of Israel, and I need to be very specific about that, not to Holocaust survivors, but to the state of Israel itself. And that part of that essay came under quite a bit of critique, and what became clear to me was deservedly so. It took 10 years for me to get it fixed, because writing takes a long time, you know, but I knew I had to.
That is so, like, that is so impressive in the face of so many people who cannot do this, who cannot even question their beliefs, but then completely change them due to new information. And due to criticism, seek out new information and be willing to change based on it.
Like that I was going to have to go at some point. You know, I knew it wouldn't be enough for me to, you know, appear at a rally, do a slogan, whatever. And long story short, I began talking to PalFest in 2016, finally got there in 2023, just in time for the message. I spent 5 days with them, mostly traveling through the occupied territories and through East Jerusalem as a Palestinian would, getting a sense of what their daily life was. And then the next 5 days, I spent mostly in the company of a group called Breaking the Silence, former IDF veterans who are against the occupation. And I saw the country largely through the views of an Israeli, how they move through the world, how they move through Jerusalem, how they move through the roads. But I also, again, you know, spent a lot of time actually talking, you know, more to Palestinians. It was revelatory. I don't think the average American has a real sense of what we're doing over there. And I emphasize what we're doing, because it's not possible without American support. I have heard people say over and over again that there are great evils happening in the world. States across the world perpetrating evils against whole groups of people. Why pick on Israel? And the thing I say is, I'm an American. This is the thing that we have our fingerprints on. Those bombs over Gaza, the planes that drop bombs on Gaza, the plaques that I saw, for instance, in Jerusalem, all of that is America. And we are going around the world propping ourselves up as the font of democracy. We are going around the world propping Israel up as the only democracy in Middle East. This is a deep, deep fiction, a very, very dangerous fiction that must be addressed. And that's what I tried to do in the book.
You write in the book, quote, it occurred to me.
I hope he realizes, because he is, you know, he's kind of a lib, but I hope he realizes that the America defender of democracy around the world thing is fucking bullshit too. Like on the whole, because if he can recognize this, I don't see why he couldn't recognize the rest. And if he still has kind of the ear of liberal media to an extent at this point, it'd be great if he could speak on that more broadly as well. Okay, I'm gonna maybe revisit this, but I'm gonna wrap it up for today. Again, as always, I am looking into expanding my stream time. There's it's a lot going on, and I just have to find another day, another time that would work to add a little, stream time to the schedule. So, but for today, we're going to wrap it up, and I appreciate new CIA drone pilot, appreciate everyone else who stopped